Hi yogis! Today I have for you an all levels flow class focused on balancing postures. So to balance in yoga, we need a few things. Number one, we need to connect to what's touching the floor and then lift up away from that point. We need to find our center and feel focused on that space and lift from there. And then we also need to remain a little bit flexible. So if we're too rigid, we'll fall out of a balance. So to be balanced in life and in yoga, we have to remain a little bit flexible. So I hope you enjoy this practice. Thanks a lot. Okay, yogis, let's get balancing. First, start in a comfortable cross-legged seat. I'm taking Sukhasana, in which I cross right in the middle of my shins. I flex my feet and let my knees relax down towards my ankles. I'm also sitting up on a blanket, so if you have a blanket or a towel at home, that can be really helpful. Marley's going to come say hi. Okay, so finding your nice, and Maggie too. Okay, doggies. So find your nice tall seat here, and we're going to take our hands together in front of our heart. Close your eyes and turn your attention inward onto your breath. When you breathe in, you know that you're breathing in. And when you breathe out, you know that you're breathing out. Enjoy this a couple more times, simply acknowledging the breath, being aware of it. This might be the first time today that you are focused on your breathing, that you're even aware that you're breathing. So enjoy the sensation of your breath in your body a couple more times. Now we're going to do a bit of movement in the hands. So the next time you inhale, keep all of your fingertips touching, but let the space between the hands expand. So the palms are going to come apart. Keep the base of the hands together, but let everything in between open up. So as if it were a bud of a flower in the center, opening. And then when you exhale, press the entire palm and all the fingers back into one another. Okay, so when you inhale, there is space. You might imagine a ball of light growing bigger and bigger between the palms. Fingertips stay connected, heel of the palm stays connected. And then exhale, feel everything press together again and the hands firm into one another. Okay, so as you inhale, the palms come open like that and feel your pelvic floor and your core relax. Your center is relaxed. Now as you exhale and the hands press together, gently draw up on the pelvic floor and draw in and up at your navel. Okay, so you inhale and your hands relax and soften. There's space in between, and the contents of your core is also relaxed and softened. And then exhale, feel that drawing in and up. So pelvic floor, what does that mean? The space between your genitals and your anus, whether you're a woman or you're a man. This is called the perineum. Lift the perineum up into your body. Feel the sides of your waist cinch in and the navel draw up. So there's this sense of lift all the way from the base upward towards the chest. And then you inhale again and all of that softens, guys. So breathing in, there's that little space between the palms. And then exhale, pelvic floor lifts, waist cinches in, palms press together. You feel like this drawing in and up of the energy. And then exhale, it all softens, including your hands. So do this a few more times, using the hands as a guide of when you are lifting and engaging the muscles. That's when the hands are pressing together. When you're exhaling, and then your inhale is when the hands soften, there's space between, and there's more space and softness here in the center of your body. So as we balance, we will come focused to the center here, deep in the pit of the belly, as a means to help us stay balanced whichever posture we're doing. So accessing that here, accessing awareness at this place a couple more times. When you inhale, it all softens, the palms spread. As you exhale, the palms push together. The pelvic floor gently draws in, perineum in, navel in and up. That hugging action, and then you breathe in. So give it one more time, please, from wherever you are. Full breath in, full breath out, feeling engaged, feeling that drawing up of energy. All right, very good work. So release your hands, and we're going to come onto our hands and knees from there. Come into table pose. So I'm going to put my blanket off to the side since I was using that here. By the way, for practice, I have one block with me. It's not absolutely necessary, but if you have to have a block at home, please do have one handy. We might want to use that later. Come onto your hands and knees. Knees under hips, wrists right under shoulders, spread well into your fingertips. Some simple cat-cow with the breath. We're going to inhale and let the belly relax down. Draw your heart forward, look upward. And then exhale, round your back. Draw the navel in again and let your head hang down. And then do it again, deep breath in, letting the belly soften and the heart draw forward. And exhale, round, hollowing the belly in and up, let your head hang. Couple more on your own breathing, guys. When you're inhaling, you are arching your back. When you exhale, you are rounding your back. So next time you inhale, come back to a neutral spine. So where you feel the natural curvature of your back, you have a little bit of an arch in the low back, but then you're lifting your belly in and up to meet that. Feel the sides of your waist here, both lifting towards the ceiling. And with a breath in, send your right leg from your inner thigh up and back. So as the right leg lifts, focus on also lifting the side waist strongly. If I were to stop doing that action here, then my belly would sink, the sides of the waist would sink, and the leg could come higher, but look at how much I'm arching my back. So I want to find the strength of my core, drawing up and in at the low belly, sides of the waist as the leg lifts. Now feel the right hand take on more weight on the floor and breathe in and take your left arm forward. Bring the bicep up next to the ear, bicep next to the ear. Reach forward through the fingers, kick back through the heel, deep inhale, and then exhale, hand and knee come back down to the mat. Good, wag your tail a little bit, and let's try it on the other side. So feel the sides of the waist lifting towards the ceiling, the low belly hugging up and in towards the low back. And breathe in and take your left leg, so lifting from the inner thigh, so the flexed toes point down. Bring it about hip height. Don't sacrifice the arch of your back to lift the leg high. Feel the sides of the waist lift up. Let the weight of the body pour into the left hand and reach the right arm forward. Lift your arm up so that the bicep is next to your ear. Take a breath in, get super long from your hand back through your left foot. And then exhale, bring the hand and the knee back down. Good job, wag your tail. So we're going to go back and forth between those two sides with the breath. So here we go, arm and leg at the same time if you can, or just do the legs. So inhale, it's your right leg and your left arm lifting, staying centered, lifting at the belly. And then exhale, hand and knee down. You can do just the legs if you need. Breathe in, it's the left leg, maybe the right arm too. And then exhale, come down. So continue at the pace of your breath. And as you lift the limbs, feel the opposite limbs ground into the floor. And as you're grounding those opposite limbs that remain on the floor down, lift your body up and away from that connected point. Here's a little extra challenge as you move, guys. When you lower the hand to the knee, could you do so they touch down at the same time? So bringing more mindfulness into the way that the hand and the knee touch down into the floor. One more time each side, breathing in as you extend, exhaling as you lower. Last one, breathe in and extend. Exhale, lower. Good job. From here, sit back for a brief child's pose. So big toes come together. Hips go down towards your heels. Crawl your arms way forward. Walk your hands now over to the left side of your mat and start to shift your hips towards the right. So you're going to get a nice feeling of stretch on the outside of your right shoulder. Maybe crawl your right fingertips an inch or two more forward. Take one more breath like that. And then walk your hands across the center of your mat and over to your right. And then using your right hand, pressing down, shift your hips to the left, but curl your left hand even more forward, feeling stretch here on the outside of the left shoulder. Hips to the left, hands to the right. One more breath. Good work. And then walk your hands back around to center. Rise up to your hands and knees. All right. So from here, step the left foot back. Flip the heel down to the floor so the whole bottom of the foot is touching down. Make sure your right knee is right underneath your hips. Now press the feet down into the floor in the way they are touching. Press the right hand down into the floor. Feel the bandhas, those energy locks, pelvic floor lifting, low belly lifting, drawing up and in. And then rotate your chest up and lift your left arm to the sky. Press the top of your right foot down. Roll the heart up. Lengthen your tailbone towards your back heel. One more breath in like that. And then exhale, take your left hand back down. Take your left knee down and switch sides. So left knee stays in line with the left hand. Step your right foot back. Spin the heel all the way down. Could you get the whole bottom of that right foot to touch down to the floor? That will help to ground you. Press what's touching the earth down. Draw in from your middle and rotate up. Lift your right arm up. Stretch your right arm up to the ceiling. Can you turn the eyes of your elbows forward towards the front of the mat and feel your shoulder blades move down your back a bit? Stay really firm and straight through your right leg. Maybe look up towards your thumb. Take another inhale. And then exhale, right hand and right knee go back down. Nice work. Wag your tail. Downward facing dog, guys. Curl the toes under. Spread your hands out well. Inhale. And then exhale, lift your hips up and back for our first one. And feel free to move in a way that feels nice here. Often bending one knee at a time feels really good. Pedaling out through the feet. If you have very tight hamstrings today, you could step your feet open as wide as your mat. So bring your pinky toes to the edges. Heels still point back. Lift the hips up and back as you press down and forward through your hands. Take one more breath like this. Ears about in line with your biceps. And then let's walk our hands back to meet the feet. Let them be about hip distance apart or wider. Bend the knees a little bit and hang like a rag doll. So let your head hang. You can hold on to your elbows. Shake your head yes. Shake your head no. Hey, find those points of lift, of energetic lifting in and up that we did when we were sitting and we pressed our hands together. So the pelvic floor drawing up and into the body, the low belly lifting up away from the thighs. Stamp the feet down, keep the bend in the knees, release your arms and roll up to stand. So from your center, uncurl the spine, lift the crown of the head, roll your shoulders up, back, and down a couple of times. Nice work. And then take it to the front of the mat. So step all the way forward, Tadasana pose, feet parallel to one another, lift up through your heart, Surya Namaskara A. We're going to inhale and raise the arms above our head. Exhale, fold forward over your legs. Let your head relax down. Breathe in, take your heart forward. Hands could come onto the shins if you need a little extra room. And then exhale, bend knees, plant hands, move to plank pose. So press what's touching the floor down in plank. Broaden the space up between your shoulder blades. Take an inhale, look forward. Knees could come down or keep them up. Pitch forward on the toes. Bend the elbows back, lower all the way down. Point your toes behind you. Pull the shoulders up away from the floor. Inhale, baby cobra. So keep it low and test yourself by lifting your hands. Lift your hands away from the floor. Squeeze your elbows towards one another. Reach the crown of the head forward. Another inhale here. And then exhale, hands come down. Breathe in. Push up to your hands and knees. Curl your toes. Exhale, downward facing dog. You can take a deep breath in here through your nose. And exhale, release it through the mouth. Breathe in. Lift the heels high. Press your hands down firmly as you bend your knees. Lift your hips. Look where you're going. And jump or step forward. Breathe in. Take your heart forward. Exhale, fold over your legs. Breathe in. Rise to stand. Reach all the way up. Lift from your back ribs. And then exhale, hands down to your heart. Good. Another Surya A, please. Inhale, reach up, tall body. Exhale, fold from hips. Inhale, take the heart forward. Hands could be on shins. Exhale, come back to plank. Knees could be down. Take an inhale. Exhale, lower chaturanga. Option to hover this time if you like. Breathe in, up dog or take a cobra again. And then exhale, downward facing dog. Good work. Deep breath in. And exhale, sigh the breath out. So building some heat in the body here. With your inhale, lift your heels. With your exhale, press into your hands. Keep the arms straight. Look forward and jump or walk. Inhale, take your heart forward. Exhale, fold. Breathe in, rise to stand. Reach all the way up. Exhale, take your hands down to your heart. Nice job, guys. Lower your arms down next to your sides. So I'm going to turn so you can see me, but you stay at the top of the mat. So let's have our feet come hip distance apart for this next one. Feet parallel to one another. We're going to inhale and take the arms upward. And then exhale, imagine the tiniest chair behind you, like a little kindergarten chair, and you're going to try to come down and sit into it. And then simply breathe in and straighten your legs again. And then exhale, turn your palms down and lower your arms. So from the side, it looks like this. Inhale, lift the arms up. And then exhale, find that chair. But notice here that you're still pulling in at the low belly. So using that Uddiyana Bandha, we call it in yoga, to stay engaged and keep the belly lifted from the thighs. Breathe in, press into your feet, lift up. Exhale, lower your arms down. One more time like that, please. Inhale, lift your arms. And exhale, sit to your chair, don't spill your guts. Breathe in, press into your feet, lift up through the arms. Exhale, arms to your sides. So we're going to add on here and challenge the balance. Ready? Inhale, lift both arms up. Exhale, find your chair. With your inhale, let the weight pour to the right foot, lift from your belly, lift your left foot up and step it back in one step or maybe a few. And then on your next inhale, breathe in and reach the arms up. Hold here for a moment just to get that nice stretch to the front of the left thigh. Feel the feet squeeze together on the floor. Feel from your pubic bone to the sternum a sense of zipping upward. Take a generous bend into the right knee. Okay, we're going to step forward into our chair pose again. So with your inhale, step the left foot up. Exhale, sink a little bit deeper. Breathe in, rise to stand. Exhale, lower your arms. Go again, inhale, lift the arms. Exhale, chair pose. Breathe in, let the weight shift over to the left foot. Exhale, step your right foot back. Inhale, lift your torso to the ceiling. Bend a little bit through your back knee. Feel your sit bones squeeze together inside the glutes. And feel the low front ribs knit in as the heart lifts. Firm the right thigh back. One more breath to find stretch. With an exhale, let's step forward and find the chair. Breathe in and come to stand. And then exhale, arms to your sides. So let's take it a little more quickly from there. With your inhale, lift the arms. Exhale, bend the knees. Inhale, left foot steps back, lift your torso. Exhale, chair. Breathe in and stand, rise. Exhale, arms to your sides. Inhale, arms come back up. Exhale, deep sit down. Weight going back into the heels. Weight goes to the left foot, step the right foot back. Inhale, lift from your low belly. Exhale, step forward, chair. Breathe in, stand up. Exhale, arms to your sides. One more round, please. Inhale, arms reach straight up. Exhale, deep sit, stay engaged through the belly. Feel the inner thighs hug together. Weight shifts to the right, step back with the left. Inhale, high lunge. Exhale, step forward, chair. Breathe in and stand straight up. Exhale, arms down to your sides. Last round. Inhale, lift your arms. Exhale, sit back to chair. Weight to the left, pull in from your belly. Step right leg back. Inhale, high lunge. Exhale, step forward, chair. Deep bend in both knees. Breathe in, stand up straight. Exhale, relax your arms to your sides. Good work. Roll out through the shoulders a little bit. Hopefully feeling warmer now, guys. All right, with an inhale, reach both arms up. And exhale, fold forward over your legs. Breathe in and take your heart forward. Exhale, step back, downward facing dog. Lift the hips up and back. Firm your heels towards the floor. So take your left foot slightly in towards midline and inhale, lift the right leg up and back. With an exhale, squeeze your knee forward towards your nose, shoulders over wrists. Inhale, lift the leg up and back, press through the heel. And then exhale, find that squeezing action, but this time step all the way through. Bring the foot between your hands. Maybe a hand around the ankle helps to walk it up, that's okay. Spin the back heel down to the mat. Line the front heel up with the middle of your back foot. Pull in from your belly and cartwheel up, warrior two. So taking our warrior, generous bend through the right knee. When you peek down, you can see your big toe past your inner knee. So finding that gentle lifting in the low belly area as you ground through your feet and lift through the crown of the head. All right, flip the front palm up, inhale, reverse, keeping a bend in the front knee. And then exhale, elbow down to thigh, left arm reaches up and overhead, side angle pose. So stay very grounded through your feet. Press through the outer edge of your back foot as you reach through the left fingers and roll your heart up as your knee moves over to the right a little bit. Take another deep breath in like that. Exhale, take your hands down on the inside of this right foot. Heel toe the right foot over to the right a little bit and spin your left heel up. So you're in a lunge, but both arms are on the inside of the foot. So your right foot's out a little bit wider. Stay very engaged in this left thigh, hips staying level. With your inhale, straighten the front leg in and out. So we stretch the hamstring. Exhale, bend into the knee. Do it again. Deep inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend. The block would come in handy here if the floor feels far away. Inhale, straighten. And exhale, bend. Good work. Lower your hands. Breathe in and step back for plank pose. Now here's what we call vinyasa. You exhale through any variation of chaturanga. Knees could be down. Breathe in, you take cobra or up dog with lifted thighs and a high heart. And then exhale, downward facing dog. Finding the breath. Moving the weight back towards the legs. Step the right foot in a little more midline. With an inhale, lift the left leg from the inner thigh, reach back through the heel.
And then exhale, squeeze your knee forward to your nose. Dome the upper back towards the ceiling. Inhale, press back through the heel. And then exhale, we find the same squeeze, make lots of room and step through. Maybe the hand holds the ankle and helps walk it up. Spin the back heel down to the floor. The front heel lines up with the middle of the back foot. Pull in from your belly and cartwheel up. Warrior two on the left side. Relax your shoulders. Spread through your arms. Ground through your feet. And let there be equal weight. Let the back leg, your right leg, hold as much weight as the left leg in the front. Let your back arm reach back as much as the front arm wants to reach forward. So be aware that your torso is centered over your pelvis. Now flip the front palm. Stay super long through both sides of your waist. Inhale, tilt back, reverse. And then exhale, elbow down to the thigh. Right arm reaches up and overhead. Parsva Konasana. Ground through the outer edge of the back foot. Feel the left buttock draw under you as the left knee moves towards the left. The chest rolls up, the fingers reach. Look in the direction of your fingers. One more inhale. And then exhale, both hands come down to the inside, so you'll be able to see it better this time. Inside of the left foot. Heel toe the left foot open as needed. Spin the back heel up and find squared hips towards the floor. The block might come in handy, very handy here. With your inhale, straighten the front leg any amount. Exhale, bend. By the way, back knee can be down. If it's a little too much, inhale, you can straighten. Exhale, bend. Lower that back knee if needed. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend. One more round. Working the back of this left leg open, pull back through the left hip. Exhale, bend. And then plant the hands flat. Inhale, step back, plank, or maybe even table. Exhale, lower slowly, chaturanga. Breathe in, cobra, or taking it higher for up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Finding the breath, hips lift up and back. If you feel the heart beating fast and the breath getting away from you a little bit, an exhale out of the mouth is always really helpful. Helping to regulate the heartbeat again. Okay, left foot steps a little more midline. Inhale from your right inner thigh and lift. And then exhale, squeeze the knee forward, step through. Long runner's lunge. Back foot spins down to the floor. Inhale, cartwheel up, warrior two. We've been here. Exhale, pause. Okay, breathe in and straighten your right leg up. So two straight legs preparing for triangle. Inhale, lift through the crown of the head as the feet press down. And then exhale, let your hips shift back to the left. Reach forward with your right arm. So you're creating a deep crease here in the right hip. Reach out, out, out. And then put the hand down onto the shin and lift your left arm up. Feel this right shin lifting up in towards the hand so that the knee joint is not getting locked out. There's a little bend in that joint. And then feel the top ribs soften down towards the bottom ribs so there's length here on this underside, on your right side. Now guys, we're going to play with that balancing again. Take an inhale, spreading the arms open from the heart. Exhale, take your top hand down to your hip and look to the floor. Bend your right knee a lot. And here is a great place to grab your block if you have one. So hand onto the block or bringing your fingertips to the floor if you like. Half moon pose. So we're going to walk our fingers or our block forward of the right pinky. Slide the left leg forward and lift it up straight. Flex through the foot. So this is very much like triangle, the pose we were just in. But we're in a different relationship to gravity now, of course. So feel the standing leg firm up. Feel that drawing up and in of the bandhas. And then maybe you lift the top arm up. Keep your back leg super straight and steady. Flex the foot like you're trying to punch a hole into the wall with the bottom of that foot. If you want to play with looking up, you can do that. Guys, we're going to exit through warrior two. Look down, take a little bend in your standing leg, step way back with your left foot and your right hand, and then rise back up to your warrior two. Inhale, feel the crown of the head lift. Exhale, cartwheel your hands down to the floor. Breathe in, step back, plank. Here's a vinyasa if you want to take it, lowering down through the push-up. Breathe in, cobra or up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. All right, left side to go here. Step the right foot in a little bit more, just slightly, and inhale, lift the left leg up and back. And then exhale, squeeze the knee towards your chest and step through. Spin the back foot down to the floor, pull up from your belly and cartwheel up, hit warrior two first. Relax your shoulders. Okay, now breathe in and straighten your left leg. Get very tall through the crown of the head. And then exhale, move this left hip towards the right hip so the pelvis tilts. And as the pelvis tilts, let your torso lean forward out over your left leg. Bring the left hand down to the shin, roll the right arm up. Micro bend that front knee, feel the shin lift towards the hand, and be light about how much weight you're putting down onto the hand. Let the top ribs draw down and the low ribs draw forward. Take another breath in, and then exhale. Top hand comes to your hip, look to the floor. Maybe you use your block, maybe you don't. Okay, I'll use mine again since I did on the last side. And we're going to slide our hand forward at the pinky toe side. Lift the right leg, keeping it super straight. Flex the foot, press back through the heel. The toes of that right leg roll open towards the right side of your mat. Lift your right arm up. Make sure your left hand is quite a bit forward of your left foot, about the length from your hip to your armpit. So don't shortchange yourself. Give yourself lots of space. Now drawing in from the middle, those bandhas we found earlier, radiate out through your limbs. Take up more space. One more inhale. And then exhale. Spot the floor. Look down. Bend the left leg. Step way back with your right foot. Move your left hand back. Rise, warrior two. And then exhale, cartwheel the hands down. Nice work. Inhale, step back, plank. Exhale, lower slow. Breathe in, cobra or up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a moment to smooth out the breath. Each exhale, sending more weight back to the legs, getting the spine nice and tall. Breathe in and lift your heels. Exhale, bend your knees, look forward, and you can jump or walk your feet to the top of the mat. So I'm turning so you can see me. You stay at the top. Feet hip distance apart. If you make two fists, they can be placed right in between your big toes. Make peace signs with your fingers and wrap those around the inner edge of your big toe. Now bend your knees as much as you need to feel your belly get close to your thighs. So maybe you bend them a lot, or maybe a little bit. Now, with your inhale, draw your heart forward. Bring the shoulder blades down your back. And then exhale, bend your elbows open to the sides of the room. Let your head release forward. Let the shoulders move up away from the floor. Now find those bandhas again. The exhale, when you pull the perineum muscle in a little bit, and you felt the low belly lift in and up, find that action here. That protects your low back. And then feel the thighs firm, and maybe the sit bones lift towards the ceiling a little more. But staying engaged in those muscles in the center to keep the back protected as the torso spills forward over the legs. Take one more breath like that. Keep your hands where they are, and with your inhale, take your heart forward. Exhale, pause, pull in at your belly. Bring your hands to your hips, elbows point up, and then breathe in and rise with a nice flat back. Coming all the way up, beautiful work. Arms come down to your side. You can sway the hips a little bit back and forth. Just feeling that softening required for finding balance as well. Okay, re-establish a firm footing on the ground. Feet about hip distance apart. Take your hands together at your heart. Okay, imagine, there's not one there, but imagine a block at the inner thighs that hugs in. So inner thighs gently hug towards one another. That causes the low belly to lift and the tailbone to lengthen. Now with your inhale, imagine a string attached to the crown of your head, lifting you up. So breathe in, it lifts you up, the heels float up. Exhale, feel that hugging in of the inner thighs, lift of the low belly, lower your heels to hover over the ground. Breathe in, press down through the balls of the feet, lift the crown of the head, and then exhale, lower down. Keep going with the breath. When you inhale, you rise. When you exhale, you lower. But maintain that sense of the hands again firming together. And those bandhas that energetically lifting, this gentle energy always engaged, so that as we play with balance, we stay with our center. So one more time, coming up onto the balls of the feet. Now hold there. Keep that lift through the crown of the head. Inhale and exhale. Bend your knees straight ahead. Let them track your ankles straight ahead, straight ahead. Sit bones getting closer to your heels. When you're nearly there, maybe a few bounces if you want to really find your thighs today. Good job. Shoulders back in space. And then come to sit. Can you balance? Feel the inner thighs draw together. Pull back from your low belly. Lift your heart. Awesome work. Take an inhale. Now exhale. Open your knees apart. Let your hips move back. And then let the torso come down between the knees, hands to the floor for Malasana pose. So you might bring your big toes a little bit closer to touch. Let your hips shift back. Let your head hang forward. And you have the option, if you want to try, thread your arms underneath your shins and either balance on the top of the hand behind you or hold on around your ankles. Now when you exhale, feel that hugging in towards midline. Feel the inner thighs squeeze towards the sides of your torso. Feel the low belly lift in and up. And I'm lifting my head a bit to talk to you, but let your head really round down. Okay, 2 more breaths like that. All right, and then if your hands are threaded behind, bring them forward. And with somewhat of control, can you let the weight rock back and come to sit? Good. Bring the knees closer together. Stamp your feet down, hip distance apart. Reach forward, lift your heart. Inhale. Now exhale, squeeze your sit bones together underneath you. Draw the belly in, make a round C curve with your spine. And lower down, nice and slow. Awesome job. Okay, reach your arms up towards the ceiling. Flex your hands as if you were handstanding on the ceiling. Spread out through your fingers. Draw the low back down into the floor. Feel it broaden. Feel the low belly draw down and broaden. And then lift your knees. Big toes touch. Take an inhale. Now exhale. Lift your shoulder blades off the floor. Press your hands towards the ceiling. And then curl your tailbone up away from the floor and squeeze your knees in towards your armpits. Good. Take an inhale. Let that soften. Lay back down. And then exhale, find the squeeze. Knees to armpits. Lift. Inhale, open. Exhale, squeeze. Inhale, open. Big toes stay together. Exhale, squeeze. Inhale, keep the imprint of the low back down to the floor. Exhale, squeeze, tailbone hooks up. One more time, inhale. Exhale, squeeze. Nice work. Relax down, take your hands around your knees. Rock your head side to side a couple of times here. All right, from there, take your hands behind your thighs. And we're going to rock and roll our way up into our chair pose. We've been there before. And here's the challenge. Perhaps you try doing this without your hands, finding balance on your way up. So think of that round C curve, draw the belly in. And with an inhale, kick back, and then kick up. Try that a couple times. Kick back, roll to the shoulder blades, come up. Now next time, Could you push into your feet and lift your seat? Maybe a little bit. Maybe you do that a couple of times. And then perhaps you're ready to press into the feet and lift to your chair. Maybe you have to use your hands, that's okay. Deep seat, one more inhale. Exhale, stand all the way up. Relax your arms to your sides. Good work. Relax, sway the hips a little bit. All right, so that little core exercise on the floor is preparing us to come into a balance on our hands called crow pose. So let's give it a try, okay? With your inhale, reach all the way up. With your exhale, fold forward over your legs. All right, stepping back a little bit so you have room on the mat if you're quite far forward. Bend your knees slightly, bring your hands down, and we need them to flatten into the floor. So maybe you can do that here. I'll give you an alternative if this is not working. Hands shoulder distance apart, bend your elbows back, bring your knees towards the back of the upper arm. Squeeze them in. Squeeze knees to armpits just like you did on the floor. Now shift forward a bit. Squeeze one heel in towards the glutes. Squeeze the other heel in. Maybe you're doing two. It's important to look forward with your eyes. Ground your hands down. Lift up away from them by lifting the belly and keep breathing. Keep flexible. And then release and lower. Nice job. So play with that. Try a couple of times. I'm going to show you another one that if that's just like, that is not happening today, that is okay. Okay, try this one instead. So come down into a squat, Malasana squat as we were earlier. Big toes touching, heels are lifted off of the floor. And then you're going to bring your hands down, shoulder distance apart. And I'm going to bend my elbows back. And I'm going to dig my elbow into the space in between the back of my thigh and my calf. So I'm going to dig the elbows into that space right behind the knee and bring my hands shoulder distance apart. So feel the inner knee hug around the bent elbows. Pitch forward a little bit on the toes to bring your chest forward. Look forward. Maybe one set of toes lifts, maybe the other. So this is lower to the ground, but you might find yourself experiencing a little bit of balance. So give it a try. One more breath. And then everyone come down, feet on the floor. Amazing work. Step back, downward facing dog. We're going to vinyasa, clear it out. Breathe in, shift forward, plank. Exhale, lower slow, chaturanga. Inhale, lift your heart, up dog or cobra. And then exhale, downward facing dog. Good work, guys. Take a deep breath in through your nose. Exhale, sigh your breath out of the mouth. All right, from here, turn. So we've stepped the whole left foot into midline before, but now we're only going to step the heel in. So you're going to spin the heel in towards the midline of the mat and try to get the foot flat onto the floor. Okay? So as if you're doing a warrior one leg back there, if you're familiar. Now with your inhale, lift the right leg up and back and press through your heel. Now feel the right thigh bone plug back into the hip socket. Feel a strong pressing into the right arm. And maybe you can float your left fingertips. Maybe they can reach up. So a bigger version of that bird dog pose. If you're feeling okay here and you want to get really frisky today, bend your knee, reach back for your foot, kick your foot into your hand, feel the knee lift, ground what is touching the floor, pull into midline and breathe, be flexible. If you come down, that's okay. One more breath. And then exhale, release. Woo! Find downward facing dog. Find child's pose instead if needed. Recover with a couple of deep breaths here. Nice work, you guys. Let's try the other side. So we're going to spin only the right heel in towards midline and the toes out so that our right foot is a 45-degree angle and the bottom of the foot is touching the floor. Firm up through that thigh, and then with your inhale, lift from the inner left thigh and press back through the heel.
So start to feel your left hand get really grounded and firm, lift up, and maybe right fingertips lift. Feel the inside of this left arm and the inside of the right thigh hug in towards one another. Maybe bend the left knee, reach up. Could you get the foot? Perhaps lift the knee, kick hand, or kick foot into hand rather. Send your hips up, keep kicking. Press what's touching down, lift the rest up. One more breath. And then release. Beautiful work. So if you want a vinyasa, totally vinyasa. If a child's pose would work better for you, take it down. Smooth out the breath wherever you find yourself. Give yourself a moment to relax. Our heart beats fast, but deep, steady breaths will start to slow the heartbeat back down. We'll start to bring the heartbeat back into balance. So coming back to your breath. One more time. All right, crawl your arms forward. Inhale, rise to your hands and knees. We're going to take it up for one more balancing pose on our feet, and then we will be on the ground. Curl your toes under. Exhale, lift your hips up and back. Downward facing dog. Breathe in and take your hips high as your heels lift. Keep your hips high, ground through your fingertips and jump or walk. Breathe in, take your heart forward. Exhale, fold. Breathe in, rise to stand. Reach all the way up. Exhale, take your hands down to your heart. Okay, I'm going to turn to face you once again. You can stay facing the front of the mat. Take your feet about hip distance apart. Let your weight pour into your left foot and lift your right knee up. Take your hand to the back of the knee. Take your hand to your hip. Okay, find that gentle hugging in of the bandhas, and then stay very firm through your standing leg. Now, if you want to move on, if you want a little more, peace sign with your right hand, wrap from the outer edge of the knee, find your big toe grab, and then extend the heel forward. Super firm and strong through your standing leg, drawing back with the arm connected to the foot, lifting through your heart. Maybe your knee is bent, remember that's the alternative. And then inhale, take it open to the side. In Ashtanga Yoga, they look over to the left. You can do that, shifting your drishti or your gaze point. Feel your right sit bone drop towards the floor as the heart lifts. Doing a beautiful job. So we're going to switch it up a little bit from Ashtanga. You're going to release the foot with your hand. Flex the foot, extend the arms. 3, 2, try to kick that hand with your foot. 1, oh, good, release down. And then find your little sway. Maybe some belly dance or hip circles here. Kind of letting the hip flexors relax. Go the other way if you are circling. Soft bend in your knees. Gotta go with the flow. No room for rigidity in our balancing. We have to be a little soft, a little spongy, it gets called. Okay, guys, let's do the other side. So find your footing, hip distance apart, stand tall. And then let your weight shift over to your right foot and lift the left knee. Hold on behind the knee, right hand to your hip. If you're moving on, so you can stay here, or peace sign with your hand, wrap from the outer edge, find the yogi toe lock on the inside of the big toe, and exhale, extend forward through the heel. Pull the hand back that is catching the toes as if to plug both the arm into the shoulder and the thigh into the hip. Focus on the standing leg. Feel yourself grounding down into the floor, firming the right thigh, lifting the low belly, lifting the heart. Breathe in, take it open to your left. Maybe you take your gaze to your right. Find the left sit bone descending towards the inner right heel as the right thigh stays engaged. That's it. And then switching it up, we're going to keep the leg open here. Really ground into your standing leg. Pull in from your belly. Extend both arms.
for 3. Try to touch your hand with a foot for 2. And 1. Relax it down. Awesome work, you guys. Walking out the legs a little bit here. Step to the top of the mat. Or, hey, you're there, aren't you? I'm going to step to the top of the mat. With your inhale, draw both arms up, reach for the sky. And then exhale, fold over your legs. Breathe in and take your heart forward. Exhale, take it back and vinyasa if you would like to, or meet us in downward facing dog if you prefer. Deep breath in through your nose. Exhale, sigh it through the mouth. Lower down to your hands and knees. Release your toes back. Step your left toes behind you, curl them under. Spin the foot down so the middle of the foot is lining up with the toes pointing back at it. The right hand is lining up with the left knee, or the right knee rather, and inhale, take the left arm up. So you've been here before at the beginning of class. Now spin your right toes back behind you, so angle the shin out towards the edge of the mat. Let the weight shift forward slightly to the right hand, and inhale, lift the back leg. Turn the top palm forward, reach to the front of the room. Take an inhale, ground what is touching the floor down, lift the rest up, lift your hips, lift your ribs. Now if you're up forward, with an exhale, bend both your knee and your elbow and kiss the two together. Breathe in, send the arm leg apart, flex the foot. Exhale, squeeze in, draw in from your middle. Inhale, reach open. Exhale, draw in. Last one, guys. Inhale, reach open. Exhale, draw in. Inhale, reach open. Exhale, bend the top leg. Step back behind you with the ball of the foot. Extend this bottom leg now out, landing on the outer edge of the foot. Straighten into it. You're on the ball of your left foot behind you. Lift your hips high and inhale. Reach your left arm out and away. This is wild thing. Take another deep breath in and then exhale. Look at the floor. Flip it over. Vinyasa if you want to. Know that you could go right to downward facing dog. Take a couple of deep breaths here. Getting ready to try on the other side. All right, here we go. Inhale, shift forward to plank pose. Exhale, lower your left knee, point the toes back. Right foot spins down. The toes, left toes are pointing at the right foot. Left hand's in line with the left knee. Draw in from the belly and lift the right arm. And then we need to make that little adjustment of the left foot. So kick it back out towards the left edge of the mat. Ankle the shin open. Shift the weight forward and lift the right leg up. Flex the foot, press through the heel. Just like you did in your half moon pose. Turn the top palm forward and reach towards the front of the mat. Take an inhale and then exhale. Squeeze your elbow and your knee together. Crunch in. Breathe in and open it apart. Press what's touching the floor down. Lift the rest away. Exhale. Draw in from your belly. 2 more times. Inhale and exhale. Last one. Inhale and exhale. So inhale. Open back up. Now exhale, we bend the top leg that's lifted and step back to the ball of the foot. Extend your left leg long, landing on the outer edge of the flexed foot. Press into what's touching the ground. Lift your hips, lift your heart. Maybe reach back behind you. Wild thing, hips high. Stay lifted on the ball of that right foot. 1 more breath. And then exhale, bring it back around. And vinyasa. From your down dog, bring your knees down, point your toes back, and take a well-deserved rest in child's pose here. So reach your hands, if you like, alongside of you, holding onto your feet. Let the forehead rest onto something. If not the floor, you can bring a block down, resting your forehead onto the block.
Smooth out the breath to smooth out the beating of your own heart. Smooth, deep breaths. Feeling the heartbeat come back into balance. One more breath like this. Slide your hands under your shoulders and round your way up to sit. Nice work. Sit off to one side. Bring your legs around in front of you and give them a little shake out, please. Okay. Take your legs open into a wide V. Nothing terribly extreme, right? Just a right angle will do nicely. And if you feel like you are very rounded back on your sit bones, then lift up onto something. Bring that folded towel or blanket back into play. Lift up, sitting your sit bones, perching them on the edge of the blanket. That can be very helpful. All right, so take a deep breath in. Let's lift both arms up equally. And then exhale, come right down the middle with your hands. So pull back with your hands to feel your chest broaden and reach forward. And then as you exhale, let yourself soften down towards the floor. So for you, you might be quite high, still feeling stretch in the groin, backs of the legs, low back. Or some of you might be laid out onto the floor or anywhere in between. So find lots of length. Keep your shoulders relaxing away from your ears. Smooth out the breath. Good. With an inhale, rise back up. Hold behind your knees. Bend them and bring them close together. Keep the knees pointing up. So one more play of balance on the sit bones. You've been doing so much balancing. Let's give it a try one more time. Peace sign fingers, wrap them around your big toes. Lift up from your heart. Feel what's touching down. It's your sit bones. Feel them ground. Feel the pelvic floor, so the perineum muscle lift. Feel the low belly drawing up and back. And then one leg extends. How's that going? Maybe two legs extend. Okay, maybe you do one at a time, taking equal amount of time on both sides, or maybe both are lifted. Press your big toes into your fingers. Pull back with your fingers. Draw your shoulder blades down your back. Feel the sides of your waist gently cinching in. Take another deep breath in. Now flex your feet. Now exhale, look up with your chin. Maybe you land forward. Okay, be careful with that. Maybe the hands come down. That's what they do in Ashtanga, right? So coming down and finding this forward fold one more time. Smooth out the breath. Relax your shoulders. With an inhale, come back up. Good work. Bend the knees. Cross your left ankle under the right knee and over on the outside of the hip. Step your right leg over and across. So fish pose, or Ardha Matsyendrasa, half fish. So if both sit bones aren't getting equal billing on the floor, if you don't feel them equally grounded, please straighten out your left leg, or even step your right foot to the inside. We're going to take a brief twist here. So reach back with your right hand. Inhale, lift up through the left. And then exhale, wrap the elbow around the front. Interlace your fingers. And with your inhale, hug your arms back to feel the knee lift. And then exhale, rotate your chest over to the right. Shoulders remain away from the ears. Breathe in, find the arms hugging to help. And then exhale, rotate one more time, breathing in. And exhale. Good. Inhale, come back to center. Now, if you want to play with that balance on the sit bones again, no hands, guys. Find your sit bones, draw into your belly, lift your legs off of the floor, unwrap your legs, switch the crossing, and come back down, opposite side. If you're like, no way, hey, you gave it a try, bring your legs down. Now you are crossing your left leg over your right, taking any of those modifications we discussed, okay? Left hand behind you, inhale, right arm up, and then exhale, twist. Wrap the elbow in front, interlace your hands. Now breathe in and hug your arms in so the knee lifts. Flatten your left foot onto the mat, as if you could stand on it. And then exhale, rotate around. Breathe in, ground through the sit bones, lift through the crown of the head. Exhale, relax your shoulders down your back and revolve. One more breath. Nice work. And then inhale, untwist. And for evenness and balance's sake, let's try to cross the legs the other way again. So lift back, lift your legs, uncross. Could you cross over the opposite way? Just for an experiment, awesome job. Take the legs forward and come down onto your back. So lay down. Hug your knees in. Rock them side to side. So say something nice to yourself. Did the balancing come easy today? Was it quite a challenge today? Regardless, say something nice. Praise yourself for making time to be on your mat. So it's important for us to practice radical self-compassion, radical self-acceptance. And from there, we can grow, we can be better people for those in our lives. So it starts with us. It starts with being kind to ourselves. All right, one more pose here, happy baby. So bending the knees, reach the outer edges of your feet, and then pull the knees down towards the armpits. Let the sacrum end of your spine be heavy towards the floor. If you're very flexible in this posture, you might even think of creating a little bit of an arch of the low back, the slightest lift, invoking that natural curvature of the spine. One more breath. And then release the legs. Hug your knees in towards your nose. Wrap your arms up around your legs. Give yourself a big hug, balancing on your middle back. And then exhale, lay back for your Shavasana pose. So balancing the legs right to left, giving equal space. Take your shoulder blades down your back a little bit and extend the arms open in a wide low V. Relax your head. I have a ponytail in, so I'm going to take that out so that I can feel equal on the back of my head right to left, and I'm not feeling a tug or a lift one way or the other because of the rubber band. Allow the whole body to soften. Allow the front of your body to release into the back of your body. And in turn, release the back of the body down into the floor. Let yourself rest. So yogis, I encourage you, if you have the time to do so, to stay here and linger in your Shavasana. And I'll leave you here, and I'm wishing you a sense of balance and feeling centered in your lives, remembering that we need to stay a little bit soft, a little bit spongy and flexible, ever evolving to find balance. Namaste, yogis.